We have a regular procedure when we have procedure. That sounds very clinical. We have a regular practice when people come into our classes for the first time and are new. Hey there everybody, in this second video that I have for you, I wanted to talk a little bit about the 3 top benefits that you can gain from practicing Tai Chi. So there's tons of things that I see in here in my classes with folks all the time, but I want to share with you the top 3 things in my mind that I think come into your life once you start practicing Tai Chi. So on to number 1. Number 1 is something that I hear almost inevitably in any of our classes. We have a regular procedure when we have procedure. That sounds very clinical. We have a regular practice when people come into our classes for the first time and are new, where they share a little bit about themselves and why they're there. And the other participants go around and explain their little bit of their Tai Chi story. And inevitably, whenever we do this, the one thing that I hear, first of all, from folks that practice with us, I'd say 98% of them is balance. So number 1 has to be balance. Tai Chi is essentially a one-legged exercise that we do all the time. Transfer of balance is one of the key concepts that's involved in Tai Chi and doing the movements that we do. And consequently, it's one of the biggest benefits that people reap. So it's really no surprise with a lot of people that come to our practice with chronic conditions. Maybe they're coming back from a fall, maybe they've had a hip or knee or other joint replacement done, and avoiding falls and dealing with balance is a very important thing for them. Maybe you're not even in one of those cases though, where you're recovering from injury or procedure, and you're just looking to gain better balance in your life, and that's definitely what I found. I found almost right away from regular practice that I had tons of balance that I never knew I had. I never pictured myself as a graceful person, full of balance all the times, but suddenly when I was out gardening in the front yard, I have this one part that's difficult to get to unless you walk on a retaining wall. You know, I could suddenly do that. When I was out hiking, I could suddenly traverse these trails up and down grades that I never would have given me tons of trouble before. I had to go really slowly on, really without much trouble at all. So while it's not a panacea that it solves all problems from balance, especially if you get tripped by dogs like I did a few weeks ago and cracked some ribs. While it's not a panacea, it helps tremendously with balance, and balance is one of the number 1 benefits that our students always share with us. So on to number 2. Number 2 is a little bit different, and this has more to do with general benefits that people tend to reap in their practice. And so what I would describe number 2 is building core strength. So what's the difference between strength and core strength? So if you've ever spent any time at the gym or with a personal trainer, tons of them focus on core strength as well as overall strength, but most of the time doing the reps, doing heavy lifting, even lifting, doing cardio type lifting, most of these exercises are really built at building your regular strength in your muscles. What's more difficult to work is core strength, and where this core strength comes from is these are the connective tissues around our skeletal system that really tie things together and hold it together. We often refer to this as tendons and ligaments and fascia, things along those lines. They're very deep, deep tissues close to the bone. Now what happens is that it's difficult for people to effectively work these areas because it takes a little bit of time, patience, and repetitive motion to do it. So one of the huge benefits of Tai Chi and its slow, smooth, graceful movements is that it allows people to build that core strength in their body. And there's tons of studies out there that have shown that this is definitely the case. And what this core strength leads to overall is an amazing thing. It's an alleviation of pain. So that's why so many folks, whether they have osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, we've had tons of people come with these chronic conditions, and being able to do Tai Chi has been able to them maybe switch away from other types of medications or treatments that they were undergoing. Most of the medications that are out there right now are just masking pain. They're not really getting to the root cause of it. When you build your core strength and you strengthen your body around those bones, around those joints where you're being afflicted by arthritis, it just lessens the pain that you have. And this has definitely happened to me personally. I used to be somebody that took ibuprofen all the time. I'm talking 3-4 pills at a time every day. I'd go to the drugstore, buy the great huge bottle of ibuprofen, use it all up in a month or so, and be back there for another one. I just don't take any of that stuff anymore. A lot of that's from losing a ton of weight that's been helpful, but even after I lost the weight, I still had damage I had done to my body over that time from my knees and hips, and so doing Tai Chi really helped me recover from those. So while everybody's results are going to vary, I really suggest doing Tai Chi to build that core strength, and it helps alleviate pain, and that's why arthritis foundations across the world have endorsed Tai Chi as an effective method for helping those conditions. So on to number 3. Number 3 I save for last because it's really my favorite one. I'm a digital guy. I've been connected. I bought the first iPhone right away. I've been always online connected and doing things. And it's a great way to live life. I wouldn't be talking to you right now if these things didn't exist. But what happens is you get so caught up in them, it's difficult to disconnect or unplug. And what Tai Chi really gives us for my number 3 thing is serenity. It really gives you this opportunity to disconnect from that digital world and from the outside world a bit and connect inside with yourself and with your body. It's not complete disconnection, like if you were on some type of drug or something where you just had no clue what was going on. It's actually the opposite of that. It's like a hyper boosted connection with your body where you're suddenly in this state where you're much more aware of what your body's doing, how you're feeling, you're breathing. You let your mind disconnect a little bit from all the different things it wants to wander around and think about. It's something that we refer to as the Jing state, and it's something I'll definitely cover in another video, but it's one of the largest beauties in Tai Chi. It's my favorite thing, and it's definitely something I recommend. So if you're a professional person that's stuck at a desk or at a computer today, maybe you're a designer, maybe you're a marketer where you spend all your time online, let's face it, there's very few jobs or things that people do anymore that don't involve being connected or wired at some point. My top recommendations for that are number 1, do some camping that I like to do. And number 2, when you're out doing your camping or maybe you don't have time to go camp, is do some Tai Chi so you can really connect with your body and give your mind a break for a bit. It definitely takes a lot of practice, and it's not like when you practice you're continually in this Jing state. It takes something that builds up over a session. Maybe it'll only happen to you once or twice a session. Maybe it won't happen to you at all for a while. Maybe it won't happen at all at first. But it's something that the more you practice, you'll definitely experience this feeling that we have. And it's incredible. I can't recommend it enough. So I hope you enjoyed this video on the top 3 benefits from practicing Tai Chi. I look forward from hearing you guys on what you think about it or questions that you might have. So hit away with those questions. Like and share me on all the things. We're going to be out there around in all the different forms of social media. I look forward to talking to you again sometime soon. Take care. Bye-bye.